Of all the animation tasks, lip syncing is probably one of the most tedious out there. From the folks I work with, I know it's the one that is least looked forward to when creating animations. Before I get into this, there's some things to know about working with audio in Anime Studio Pro. The toolset that we're going to take a look at only works with one kind of audio animation, and that happens to be animation with switch layers. I have a mouth here that's been set up with switch layers, and it's got all these curiously named layers itself that are subsets of this. This mouth also works with something that are called phoneme datasets. We're not going to work with one of those. It takes a while to set them up. Many of the characters you can actually get even from Smith Micro don't include this information. So here is how this audio works. The way we will use it is that we've got these layered shapes right here, and if I highlight the switch layer itself and we come to the switch layer tool over here on the left, we'll see that we can select any items like we would with a normal switch layer. So AI in this case is what the mouth looks like when you're pronouncing the words A or I. And we've got it for F and V, that type of thing, so we'll have it at rest. The cheater fast way we're going to look at this is that as the program analyzes the audio waveforms, how loud it is or how quiet it is, it comes over here and looks at the switch layer stack and says the quietest layer is going to be at the top, the loudest layer is going to be at the bottom. So the bigger the audio waveform, the closer to the bottom I go when I choose these type of mouths. So we've got a wide variety of pronunciation drawings in here. I'm going to leave them like that. This is going to be inaccurate, but close is good enough for a lot of this type of work. Something else, if you go to a file like, say, our new pirate character that comes with Anime Studio Pro, you'll notice that the mouth layer itself is not a switch layer. And the method I'm going to show you right now doesn't work on characters like this. In order to get a mouth to move, you would have to go in and manually match it and animate it either with action layers or something like that to make it work, or any of the smart bones that are also around here. So just be aware that's the case. Finally, and this is very important, per character or per mouth, there can only be a single audio track. You can't import multiple audio tracks and then have one mouth do multiple tracks. The dialogue that you want to have in terms of exchanging between characters has to be done ahead of time and planned for. Okay, with that all said and done, I see my time markers way down here. Let me delete an involuntary keyframe there. I'm going to come back to 0 in my time frame. We are going to load an audio file, and you do this by simply coming to New, and we'll load audio like we would load any layer. You can come to the dance MP3 that are in the working files. I'm going to double click on this. Here is the audio waveform that we have to work with right here. The larger it is top to bottom, the louder it is. So this is a very short little clip. What I want to do is actually start it maybe 1 second into the animation instead of having it start at timeline 0. To do that, I'm going to come to the sequencer, click this audio file and drag it down to 1 second there, 24 frames, and come back to our channels. Now, to that point I had mentioned about a single audio file per character, if we have a 30-second or even a 15-second spot, the dialogue for the full 15 seconds needs to be contained in a single audio file. 2 characters means 2 audio files linking the switch layer to the different audio tracks. Back here in channels, we're now going to link the switch layer to the dance MP3 audio track. I'll double click on this. We'll come up to the switch layer, and now it says select audio sync source. If we had a data file, we could go to the switch data file. We don't. I'm simply going to select the dance MP3 and choose OK. You can see now that a whole bunch of keyframes have been added right here, which is great. Let's go ahead and run the animation right here. I've shortened our time frame up to 120 frames right here. Let's go ahead and go.
Now here's a song for all the people who just can't dance.
Here's a song for all the people who just can't dance. Okay, we've got that set. Now let's scrub back here just a little bit and fine-tune this. So there's an F. Here's a song for. This is not the mouth shape for the word F or for the pronunciation of F. What I'll do with the switch layer selected, come to the switch layer tool and move it down to the drawing for FV. This has been switched now and recorded into the keyframe so that when I go ahead and scrub back like this,
Now here's a song for all the people who just can't dance.
here's a song for all the people who just can't dance. So working with your audio, this is the process you would go through for creating it, modifying it, and just fine-tuning it. Great time saver if the style of animation you have matches working with switch layers.